This is a very extensive tutorial today. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is brought to you guys by Ansia Sound Art Canvases. If you guys don't know what Ansia Sound Art Canvases are, if you didn't watch my other Cricut tutorial on how to use your canvas, they are Bluetooth speakers that you hang on your wall. You can get them ordered with your family picture on them or your own photography. So when you buy an Ansia art canvas, you are buying something that I am helping promote and I am backing and I am obsessed with and I love them. Okay, so let's get going. 3-part tutorial. 1 is how to upload SVGs into Design Space. 2 is how to create SVGs on Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator. And 3 is how to layer your vinyl onto a canvas. Okay, let's go.
Alrighty guys, for this project I picked up the sample vinyl that came with all of the browns and cream colors, and it worked perfect because it had all 6 of the colors I needed from white to black. Then I also, instead of using white, used silver glitter vinyl. I got all my boards ready, and wait till the end of this video to see how I actually created the image. But basically we're going to use a sound art canvas to create this really cool layered vinyl project. So instead of cutting on my silver glitter vinyl, I actually covered the entire canvas with glitter vinyl before because it was going to fill up all of my negative space. And I actually didn't even have to cut one of my layers because instead of cutting the white layer, I ended up just using the silver for the negative space, and it turned out pretty cool. So I'm just going to slowly roll this onto my canvas. It's pretty self-explanatory if you just watched what I did. Just slowly peeling off the backing to get all the bubbles out and making sure that it's nice and flat. I left about 1.5 inches on each side so that I had a lot to work with and I could wrap it around. When I got 2 sides up, I went and I cut some corners out so that I could get it nice and flat. Just think kind of like a present when you're wrapping a canvas like this. So it's just basically you fold it up and then you can kind of stick down the sides, and then you could either cut off the back or roll it over onto the back, and I just chose to roll it over. So then after you do the end of this tutorial where you get your images all ready, if you don't have Illustrator and you don't have all of that good stuff to create your own images, I have this entire set as an SVG ready to go on my blog, antitay.com, ready for you to cut out, and they're already just 6 different layers. So we're gonna start 1 layer at a time, which I started with black, and I put it on and just put it on just like you would do any type of vinyl. If you wanna know how to use vinyl in more detail, check out the video of 15 vinyl ideas and how to use it. And then I just cut off all the edges and I made sure that it was on there really good before I pulled my transfer tape off. Then I went in with my dark brown. I know it kind of looks black, but since this was little pieces, I just took 1 piece of transfer tape and worked on 1 part at a time. That way I didn't have to deal with the entire project peeling up or having to deal with that. So I just kind of lined it up, and this is one of those projects that is really fun to do like in front of the TV or while you're watching your favorite show, and then get it all situated, and then you're just gonna go in with each different color that you cut and do the same exact thing, and it's super fun and it's super cool when it's all done. Okay, so we are gonna do some Illustrator work today. Illustrator is really good for learning how to use if you're going to have a Cricut, because it's awesome for creating SVG files, which the Cricut works with really well. So I just want to say that today is the 2nd day of daylight savings time. I'm not used to it yet, so I'm super tired. So some of the words might not be working, but we're gonna try. Okay, so first I went to Google and I saved a bunch of Disney images to work with later on. I've always had these on my computer, but I went and found an image that had not too many colors in it because I wanted to create this into a layered image that we were going to do with vinyl. So simple things like this image or this image are really easy to turn into SVG files, 1 layer or 2 layers, because they're really crisp and the colors are really clean. So I'll just show you guys how we're going to create a very simple SVG file with Jack Skellington. And then I'll also show you how we're going to do a little bit more extensive one with an image that you can find that has a little bit more of a color scale on it, and and all that. So let's just go in with Jack Skellington and teach you how to make a 1 or 2 layered SVG file. So basically what we're going to do is pull our image onto the artboard. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create this to be a vector. If you don't know what a vector is, it is a image that is scalable. Right now this will pixelate if I get it bigger or smaller because it's a JPEG right now, which just means that it has a certain amount of resolution. When you turn it into a vector image, what it does is it gives it a mathematical scalable, basically it just turns it into math, and it will create a formula that can be scalable to small or big. Vectors are really good. So to create a vector, all we're going to do is go up here to image trace. There's this little triangle right here, which gives you a lot of different options. Now this is a really simple image, so I'm just going to image trace it. And what it's going to do is it's going to find all of the edges and everything, and it's going to turn them into paths. So the Cricut will pick up all of these paths, and I don't have to tell it where I want it to cut. Now it's not ready to be done. We have to expand it, which now is all ready to go. You can see that there's all these little anchor points on all of the spots where the images and where lines are. You can see how this is a simple image and it still has a lot of detail in its pathways because these lines have to go around all of this. So we are going to actually go up to here and edit, ungroup this, because right now if I select off this artboard and I select the artboard anywhere on the artboard, it's going to pick all of this up. We want to ungroup this, which I will show you what it does. So we want to go to Object, Ungroup. Okay, there we go. So now when I click, now I can pick up each individual little thing. Now I'm going to go in and delete my white because it's not his head. If it was his head, I would want to keep that as its own layer because I would want the Cricut to know to cut this out. So right now I've got just one layer that's all black, and then I would just go up here, File, Save As, and I would save it as an SVG, label it what I want to label it, and we're good to go. I can import it into the Cricut design space, and the Cricut design space is going to read all those little lines, and we're good. Now let's go on to the much more extensive tutorial. Okay, so let's take our image that I found that worked for this, and we're going to drag that onto our artboard, this artboard. Okay, so I've already done this before, but I'm going to show you guys now that I've got all of it figured out so I can pass on anything that I learned to you guys. So I'm going to fit this to my artboard, and then what we're going to do, instead of just image trace it, we're going to go over here and we're going to pick how many colors we want. So 3 colors just will not be detailed enough for this piece. 6 colors is what we're going to go with. 16 colors is going to be something that would be a lot of work if you wanted to do it, but it's doable. And you could get 16 different colors of vinyl and actually do this project. But we're going to just start with 6, and I'll show you what it looks like. So now it's going to create this image into 6 different colors, and only 6 colors. So now I know I'm dealing with 6 different colors of vinyl at the most. Now we're going to expand it. Now, like I said with Jack, when I click this, it's going to click all of these little paths, everything. You can zoom in and see that it's around all of this. What we have to do is ungroup this entire thing. So we're going to select the object, then we're going to Object, ungroup it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to select a color, the lightest color, because you're going to see that they're all different pieces. When I click this, I want this to be on the same layer as all of these other colors that are the same as it. So what I'm going to do is select, same, fill color. And what that did was picked up all of the layer that had that cream color. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to Object, Group. Now when I select this color, the next up in the shades, it will not pick up all the layers, but when I select this cream color, it's selecting all of them. So now what I want to do is I want to Command C or Control C and File, New. We're going to create 6 layers of artboard. So we're going to do Cinderella Layer 1. Okay? And that's going to be our cream color layer. And we're going to Command V or Control V or just go up to Edit. What I'm doing when I do Control C and V, I'm copying and pasting. So if you don't know how to do that, you can just go up to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste in your new artboard. And then we're going to save this. Save as Cricut Layer 1 SVG, and we're going to save it. And I'm not going to actually go through with that because I already have all of these pieces. So we're going to repeat that step with every color. Sorry, let's not go into other projects. We're going to repeat that step with every color. So you're going to end up with 6 different layers. So let me show you just one more time. I'm not going to go into all of them because I don't want you to have to sit here through all that. So now we're going to go up to our next color, and I like to either start with the darkest color and work my way to the lightest color so I know when I'm done. When I have 6, we're going to work our way backwards for this one. So now we're going to go up to this next cream color, Select, Same, Fill Color, Object, Group. Copy, Command C, go into a new artboard, Cinderella Layer 2, Command V or Edit Paste, File, Save as Cinderella Layer 2, SVG. So now, when we've got our 6 layers made, we're going to go into Cricut Design Space, and we are going to upload our 6 layers. So I already have them into my Cricut Design Space, but I will show you. If you don't know how to use the Design Space, check out my video that's coming up, which will be all about how to use Cricut Design Space. Upload images. We're going to click Upload, find it, upload all 6 of those layers. So you can see that I have them already uploaded here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to insert images. Now, when we're in Design Space right here, all of these images need to be exactly the same size so that when it cuts out our layers of vinyl, they all fit together. So I'm going to show you guys once these import. When we're doing big projects like this, you will notice that they take a little bit longer. So we're going to, right now they're all the same size because we saved them all as the same size. So when I click go, I'm going to show you what it's going to do right now. It is going to actually register all these little pieces as different cut spots on your artboard. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So right now it's registering that we want to cut 6 different art colors, which is correct. But look at this layer right here. It is all kinds of crazy. We don't want that. We want it to all be together because it's literally picking up all those little pieces as separate pieces. So we want to go back. And what we want to do is we want to select each layer. And what we want to do with this layer is we want to click it so that it selects all of just the layer, and we want to attach it. And then we want to do that to each layer. Different layers, I'm going to show you the difference. When we click go, it's going to take us over to our artboards, and since we did not do the black layer or this layer, it's still registering, but look at, we did these layers right here, and now it's registering. We want it to cut where we attached them. It's going to not want to save space, and it's going to take up the exact space that it wants when you're cutting out your project. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move all of these pieces into the corner so that you can see that they actually make a picture when they're layered on top of each other, the right spot, so that we can measure it and get it in the right size that we need. So basically what you would do is layer all of this together. I don't want to waste too much time explaining how to do that. Say this picture was exactly how we wanted it. It's going to take me a second to get it all organized and all of that. Make sure you do that. I've already done it since I have this project already ready to go. So then we will select all so that we can scale it all at one time. This will create our layers to be the right size. So say our canvas is, because it is, needing a 13 by 11.5 at least. This was a lot wider than my canvas, so I ended up having to cut a couple of the sides off. But you'll scale it all at once. You'll attach your layers. You'll make sure each layer is welded, not welded, but attached together. We don't want to weld them. This is what I mean by welding. You want to attach them. And then we'll click go. And then you will cut on each vinyl. And then you'll continue the tutorial like we did in the beginning.